Hey, welcome to the SNARS monthly meeting. This is the presentation portion for June 5th, 2021. We have a special guest from the East Coast today. It's Tim K3LR. He's a DX aficionado, a big contester. The K3LR contest station is a lot with kids and happens to be the CEO and head of DXengineering. For those of you that may or may not know, we have a DXengineering distribution point here on the West Coast in our backyard in Sparks, Nevada. We're going to hear about that. Tim, thank you for being here today, telling us about the DXengineering story. We had you back in about 2017 or so on contesting, so take her away and thank you.
Thanks very much, Barry. Thanks for the invitation to talk to SNARS here this morning. And it is a lovely summer day here in Western Pennsylvania. And I see Jim, W6US, has got the right hat on. And thank you for being a customer, Jim. And so I'm going to share my screen and we're going to talk about some of what makes DXengineering tick here today. And let me know when you see my slides.
Yeah,
We've got you.
Great. So we're going to talk about DXengineering, and I am going to focus quite a bit on what's going on in Sparks with DXengineering. Many of you, or hopefully most of you, are aware that Summit Racing has been in Sparks for a long time, and Summit Racing owns DXengineering, and but I am CEO of the DXengineering portion of the business. We recently, in the last several months, started shipping product from Sparks so that we are one-day ground service to a lot of the West Coast, including Nevada. And what's great about living in the Reno Sparks area and being able to visit the Summit Racing store and DXengineering is if at 6:30 at night on Sunday, you want to go get some coax, you can do that now. You can go right to the Summit Racing store, go in there, you know what your part number is, and they will bring it to you, either curbside or you can go in the store and actually pick it up. But open 7 days a week. We do not have Ham working there yet. We are in the process of hiring several people that will be amateur radio operators that will be able to assist you when you come to the Summit Racing DXengineering location in Sparks. So I'm very, very proud of the fact that this is our second location. The headquarters of DXengineering and Summit Racing is in Talmadge, Ohio. That's just a little bit east of Akron. And we've been working remotely here since March of last year, but now starting to come back into the offices. That the entire time our order fulfillment system has been up and running, and we've been delivering product. Some of the items are only in stock at one location or the other, so it is still possible if you place an order that it may ship out of Talmadge. As all of you know, the supply chain for a lot of things is severely delayed, and that is true for amateur radio equipment right now. DXengineering, actually, this incarnation of DXengineering was started in Oregon, and about the year 2000, the owner of Summit Racing purchased the name DXengineering and some of the products. I've been working for DXengineering now for 9 years. So out of the 20, soon to be 21-year history, I've been there almost half the time. When I came to work at DXengineering, I was the largest customer in terms of dollars spent. I have been a fan of DXengineering since day one. We are a very quality-driven company. We are unique in that not only do we sell ICOM and Kenwood, Yaesu, Alinco, and over 150 other brands, we also manufacture some of the highest quality, very unique products that you're going to find, all the way from antenna switches to the noise canceling controller to very specific switching items that are used by amateur radio operators all over the world. And so I'm going to get into some of these things. Here is one of the new products that we introduced. These are all DXengineering products that you're going to see. This is the WD8 noise loop. It was published in March 2021 QST. It also was reviewed in May CQ magazine by K0NEB. And this allows you to go out and pinpoint noise sources. It's a nice handheld unit that is 48 inches by 24 inches, and it has a cardioid pattern. So it has a deep null off of the rear that allows you to find noise sources. And it also can be used as an effective 80 and 160 meter receive antenna, but it does require a preamp because it is very small. It needs a preamp to get signals out of the noise. And speaking of preamps, here is the preamp that we actually designed and manufacture that goes along with the noise loop. This preamp can develop up to 30 dB of gain. It also has an attenuator in it so that when you get close to a noise source, you can actually knock it down. And it only requires a 9-volt battery, so it's very portable. And if you're getting interference from an AM broadcast station, it also has an AM filter that you can use. So it's a very nice handheld device. Mine, I put some Velcro on the back of it so that I can go right onto the noise loop. And also from the standpoint of trying to keep noise out of your station, we just introduced another coax line. DXengineering, we manufacture and sell coax such as RG8, RG213, RG58, RG8X. We have a lot of different coaxial lines. This is a new one. This is double shielded RG213, which is known as RG214. The DXE214 cable assemblies, we have them in popular lengths already with Type N or the PL259 UHF male connector already installed. And of course, all of the cables that are made here at DXengineering are fully tested ahead of time before you get them. They've got nice heat shrink over the back of them. And when I'm talking about testing, we test for loss, and we actually do a high pot test. And what is that? We actually put 5,000 volts between the center conductor and the shield to see if there's any shorting going on after the connectors are installed. And so you can be really assured that these quality cables are not going to fail in your station. With the double shields, this provides superior power handling and RF isolation. Also in the area of noise, Ethernet systems can be a source of RFI. And so we have attacked that with the DXengineering ISO Plus. And you can see the signal attenuation on the Ethernet lines in the amateur bands is quite good. And this works with Cat5, Cat6, mates with the RJ45 connectors, and provides superior common mode attenuation. I have these all over the shack here at K3LR, and I do not hear the birdies anymore from my Ethernet. And it's also good for making sure that RF doesn't get into the Ethernet. So it's a bi-directional filter, very, very popular. And there are some great product reviews from our customers on our website about how the ISO Plus solved their interference issues. Also for your station, one of the things that is discussed in the N0AX grounding and bonding book is using RF ground planes underneath your radio equipment, such as your transceiver or your amplifier or a tuner. And these are used with short grounding connections that actually reduce all the RF voltage differences between cable and equipment. And this results in a reduction in noise and also RF interference. And we do have 3 sizes of plates depending upon how big your amplifier or radio is, and we do include the hardware with it. In the area of grounding and lightning protection, this is used for open wire feeders. This is the DXengineering Dxe-Llsp ladder line surge protector. Again, a very popular product, and you simply attach your open wire to one side, and then the transmitter actually going to your tuner is on the other side, and then a very short connection to ground. And this bleeds off all static charges from either snow, rain, and sand. Also, to protect your control lines going to maybe an antenna switch or to your rotator, this is the Dxe ISR-CT, and we have clamping gas discharge tubes and MOVs in here that make sure that anything over 60 volts gets shunted to ground. And we can, there's the terminal strips there, and we give you the solder lugs to actually allow you to put this in line with your rotor cable or control cables. This is the noise canceling controller 2. This is our signature cornerstone product. It allows you to phase 2 antennas, 2 receive antennas together for a optimized directional pattern or for noise canceling. In the area of noise canceling, your main antenna would be on channel A. Channel B would be your noise antenna. So the channel B, that antenna, we want to direct that towards the noise source. And then by using the balance and phase control, you can actually null out the noise. It is an incredible device for noise canceling or for combining 2 antennas for a significantly better received pattern. Some of the accessories that we've just introduced, here's a broadcast band filter. If AM broadcast is plaguing your station, this is a great way to get rid of it. And this can plug into many of our devices, not only the NCC2, but the RPA2, DMC2, and effectively attenuates the AM broadcast band by 70 dB. Here's another one of our great accessories. We're talking about field day. So many times at field day, radios will get overloaded, and sometimes will burn out the front end of a receiver because of a nearby transmitter. The receiver guard, the RG5000 HD, prevents that from happening. It can actually take over 25 watts of power that was headed for the receiver and effectively shunt that to ground. And so this is ideal for field days. And even though we claim that it can reject up to 10 watts, I've seen 25 watts or more actually coming down the receive antenna. And this takes care of it so it does not burn out your front end. Here's a receiver preamp, up to 16 dB of gain from 300 kilohertz to 35 megahertz. Very high third order intercept, and can plug into many of our products as well. If you need to match 75 ohms to 50 ohms, this is how you do it. With the ITPM75, again, plugs into many of our products. We just introduced this. This is the Dxe Keyline 3. This allows multiple items to be connected to a transceiver's transmit, receive, or send line. And we use common RCA phono connectors on this as well. For vertical arrays, such as 4 squares, this is the DXengineering TFS4. We have this on 160, 80, and 40 meters. Also, it has not only the directional patterns, but it has an omni as well, and it's heavy duty. For just 2 verticals, you can create a nice cardioid pattern in 2 directions using the DVA, and we have this on all bands 160 through 10 meters. We are the exclusive supplier of high Z antennas, manufactured over in Oregon and sold through DXengineering. These are receive antennas used on 160 and 80 meters. and it does not need an extensive ground system, using anywhere from 102-inch verticals all the way up to 23-foot verticals, in a very compact array that develops great directivity in up to 8 directions. And this can replace beverage wire systems. We are the exclusive supplier of OptiBeam in North America, coming from DXengineering. And these are best-in-class German manufactured antennas. And we have these on all bands, 80 through 10 meters. And so that is my slide presentation. And I am available for any questions you might have.
Yeah, let's start with just a general question. I was on a presentation you gave, and you had, maybe it was a YouTube. So talk a little bit about your engineering there, and because I know you have some people that engineer.
Barry, your audio is very low and cutting out. Can you ask that question again?
Okay, sorry. Can you hear me over?
It's still pretty muddy, but we'll try.
But I won't ask the question. I'll just open up the mics. Who would like to say something? Mics are open.
N7ROJ. I just like to say that I really like the fact that I work fairly close to the Summit Racing store, and it's nice to be able to pick up your speed parts and your ham radio parts at the same time. It is definitely cool, and I've noticed that for the last few months, anytime I go over there, because I spend far too much time at Summit Racing, every time I go over there, they've now got the DXengineering signs out. They have a sandwich board at the door. They also keep one at the street. And it looks like they're actually putting on the Summit Racing street sign a DXengineering board right below it. So really cool. And yeah, I noticed that I could pick up some of the really excellent saddle clamps at the same time as that I could pick up an Edelbrock intake manifold. So good stuff.
Thanks very much. I'm glad. You would be amazed how many customers are active in both hobbies, both in speed parts and in amateur radio. So it's two great hobbies that go together.
And Bob, W7VD.
Yes, Bob.
Hi, Tim. Thank you very much. Just wanted to give you a little compliment on your local store. I was in need of a line filter MFJ, and oh, wait a minute. Go online, go on site. Geez, I can pick up in Sparks, Nevada on a Sunday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Thank you.
That's so cool, Bob, and thank you so much for sharing your story, because that is definitely what we want to have happen, whether it's Saturday or Sunday or Monday evening. You can go to the store, and hopefully it's in stock there. If you are looking for a specific part, make sure you check on the website, because sometimes the stock is in Sparks, sometimes it's in Talmadge. It just depends. We are rapidly putting more and more inventory in Sparks. And my goal is to have everything that you want available out in Sparks.
Hey, Tim, are you shipping by rail or truck from Talmadge to Sparks?
Yes, well, it's truck.
Okay.
But
yeah,
we do.
Quick question, Tim.
Yes, go ahead.
K5HK here. Just a question about the store, and you may have said it in your intro. Do you plan on having a actual store there where you can walk in and look for things once you get some hams hired that know what they got there? Go ahead.
Yes, Carl, that is definitely the plan. We actually call it, more of a showroom. So that what we'll do is, I expect to put up a tower and an antenna there, and have the radios out there so that you can actually come in and operate the radios and try things out before you purchase, and be able to ask questions to a DXengineering employee. So just like we have in Talmadge, I expect to replicate that inside the Summit Racing store. But it's going to take us a little bit of time, Carl.
Yeah, I understand that. But are we, to order stuff now, we need to do it online and just pick up over there if it's available there, right?
Yeah, you can do that. We also have a kiosk inside the Summit Racing store. And, you know, if you know your part number, you can go right up to the cashier and say, you know, I want Dxe RG213, 100 feet long with PL259s on it. And
Oh, cool.
it'll be there for you, Carl. It's always best to check online just to make sure it's there before you take the trip over to the store.
Short trip for me. Thank you.
Hey, Tim, I'm back on the phone now. I got a
Oh.
back channel here.
That
I
sounds
think I got a
much better.
bad computer audio card. Yeah, I'm wondering if I saw this on one of your presentations. I wonder if you could talk a little bit about your engineering group and your quality assurance group. I know you do quite a bit, which is different than other just resellers. So could you speak to that a little?
Yeah, I mean, we've got staff engineers, and I'm one of them. And we have a whole product team that is involved. Of course, we have a very large manufacturing facility where we manufacture the products. They're actually built in Talmadge, Ohio. And so, yeah, that's something that no other amateur radio retailer has from that standpoint, and especially the size that we are. And we're continuing to grow, Barry. It's not a static thing. We are very committed to this market. I've been a ham for almost 50 years now. It's the only hobby I have. You know, it takes up all of my time, 18 hours a day. So, you know, and when the pandemic started, they told me I had to stay home here. I mean, geez, that's going to be tough duty. So I've been running the company remotely, but we are slowly going back into the home office, the headquarters. And but we have not skipped a beat in manufacturing as long as we can get the raw parts. And that has been a struggle here recently.
Thanks, Tim.
KJ6EAC.
Yes, Brian, go ahead.
Yeah, Tim, just curious, have you been seeing any increase in prices for some of your supplies due to the shortages?
Yeah, in fact, Brian, it's across the board.
Yeah.
You know, it's we just got to notice that there's a price increase coming on ICOM gear. That they're going to increase the prices in July. So, you know, so we're busy trying to buy as much inventory as we can. You know, and copper prices have gone crazy. If you're thinking about buying coax, buy it now, just because you know the price is going to continue to ramp up. The demand for all this stuff is very high, and we can't get ships unloaded that are sitting off the coast of Oregon, and Washington, and California. There's a lot of radio stuff sitting on boats that can't get offloaded. So it's not, you know, everybody was blaming the chip factory in Japan that burned down. Well, that's yesterday's news. Now it's getting things offloaded off the boats.
Yeah, not just off Oregon, off the San Francisco Bay and Southern California.
Yes.
Seems to be a whole bunch of ships anchored San Francisco Bay waiting for dock space. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, thanks.
87 ZDV.
Yes, go ahead.
Hi, Tim. This is Andy. I had some question. I think you kind of spoke a little or alluded to it. Great to have DXengineering local here in Northern Nevada. But with the challenges of, I'm going to use examples such as Amazon, the brick and mortar model versus, you know, all these online, and the competition of other competitors such as HRO, where they have quite a bit of ham radio equipment. Can you give us a little bit of insight as to what your vision is with respect to your product line and how it's may stand out as opposed to these other competitive markets?
Well, you know, I think our model, my vision is that we have to be different. You can buy an ICOM radio from 5 or 6 different places, and it's going to be the same ICOM radio. The difference is, how are you treated? If you call in and ask a question, how are you treated? The customer service team that we've assembled has over 400 years of experience in amateur radio. The sales team and the technical support team are not just going to work 9 to 5. These are very active amateur radio operators. Most of them, have over 20 years experience themselves. They're emergency coordinators. They're presidents and vice presidents of their local club. They are, active in emergency communications. They're active in contesting. They're active in DXing. Many of them have DXCC awards that are on the honor roll. So they know what they're talking about. If you have a question about a radio, you're going to get a really straight up answer from a non-commissioned salesperson. So they're going to stay on the phone with you as long as it takes to do the job. And we pride ourselves in shipping just as fast as Amazon does. You get your order in, it's going to ship that day. It's going to ship that night. And you're going to get shipping notices if it's being delivered by FedEx or UPS. You're going to get notices along the way of how it's doing and when it's delivered, just the same way Amazon does. So I really think that experience is great. We've just recently upgraded the website so that it's mobile friendly now. It's much easier to use the DXengineering website on a mobile phone. You don't have to pinch and expand things. It knows you're on a mobile phone and it optimizes the experience. So those are the things: provide excellent customer service, make best-in-class products, which we do at DXengineering that nobody else makes, and then give you great customer support.
So to follow up with that question, any vision as to when you do open the store in Sparks at Summit, product line? Is there any consideration there as far as those types of parts or products that stand out?
Well,
that you may be looking for?
Yeah, not anything that stands out other than the fact that, there's DXengineering products that you can't get anywhere else. And so that will be available at the store. They're there now. The vast majority of our products are in stock out in Sparks, but we do have holes, in just the supply chain itself that we're struggling with. But when you get a DXengineering catalog and you say, "Oh, this is a great catalog," this is a small percentage of the products that we have. The website is the real deal. So this is meant to get your attention and give you some great reading material, but is by no means the end all do all. And you'll notice on this most recent catalog that we've got, here's the Nevada curbside pickup, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Sunday. So we're talking about, the Sparks location, and very soon we'll have a DXengineering employees at the Summit Racing store, so that if you have a question, you'll be able to get it answered.
Thanks for your comments. And yeah, your emphasis on quality and engineering is superb compared to the other sources that I use. So thanks again for all those efforts.
Thank you for your questions, Andy.
Hey, Andy,
Tim.
just so you know, Andy, I just looked, I've ordered 8 times in the last 4 months, and all 8 times I was able to pick the stuff up within 20 minutes at the warehouse, got over there, and I actually waited longer for the speed parts than I did for the ham radio stuff.
Yeah.
I just looked at my order history.
Good to hear. Good to hear.
That's fantastic.
Back order there, but obviously understand the challenges with some of the parts.
Hey, Tim, you mentioned, thanks, Andy and John. Tim, you mentioned employees. So just talk for a minute about what are you looking for? I mean, this is a unique thing. We happen to have hams in the greater Reno Basin and some outside of Reno. What are you looking for? Give us some idea, and how do they get hold of you or submit their resume or whatever?
Yeah, there, on the website, when we have openings, it's right there on the website. So you know, you're alerted to it. And we've been going through doing interviews here in the last several weeks. And I think we're getting close to offering the positions to two hams that live in the Sparks area. And what do we look for? We look for somebody who is very engaging, who is very experienced in a lot of different areas of the hobby, not just in, say, transceivers, but maybe they know about DMR, maybe they know about fusion, maybe they know about satellite operating, so that they have a wide view of the hobby, and that they're good with people, that they can be empathetic, they can, you know, really listen and make sure that the customer is happy. And so that's what we look for, Barry. And I think we have a couple of excellent candidates, and I'm hopeful that they will accept our offer.
Okay, great. Thanks. We still have a little more time. Who has some questions for Tim? Just give your call sign.
Jim, W6US.
Yes, hello, Jim.
Hi. One of the things that I found is that you tend to make very, very good instructional booklets that come with the units. They cover a lot further. These even come with things like the Hustler BVD series antennas, and it allows you to tune up a little better than the quick little sheet that Hustler gives you. And this is really nice. This is a 20-page booklet on how to install a tilt over device for a vertical antenna. And I recently installed my second one of those, and they're really pretty good. And by the way, that stainless steel you build those out of is the toughest stuff I've ever run into. I messed up 3 drills before I had to go out and buy a cobalt drill to be able to drill a hole in it.
Well, we use the highest quality material that we can get a hold of. And thank you for the nice comments on the manual, Jim. I'm very proud of the DXengineering manuals. They're all online. So, you know, just look at the documentation tab for a product, and you can download and print any one of the manuals anytime. So you've got that. We have, I think, the best manual writer on the planet. KB8 UUZ is our guy that does all our manuals, and he's great. He is absolutely great. And Jim, one of the other manuals that we have for the Hustler vertical is actually 64 pages long, and it gives you all of the inside tricks and tips to maximizing the performance. And you can download that manual for free at any time. Even if you didn't buy the Hustler vertical from us, you can still get all the tips and tricks. We have spent a lot of time to make sure that our manuals are best in class, that nobody's got better manuals for equipment than DXengineering does.
KG7QXC.
Yes, Wes, go ahead.
Thank you, Tim. I got a question pertaining to your tubes. I know you sell the 572s, and I know you sell the Ameritron that you get from them. I know I ordered the set from Ameritron, and they were all screwed up. I didn't look at them when I put them in. Then I went to your site because I wasn't satisfied with the performance of these tubes. So I went to your website and looked for tubes, and you were selling the Ameritrons. I mean, I know your reputation on the 572s. I know people who have them, and they're quite pleased with them. But I run an 811A, and but I've been having all kinds of problems with tubes for a long time, and RF parts didn't work well. A couple other ones didn't work well. I mean, I used some from this guy and some from that guy, try to get a good because the equipment didn't work properly. I sent it in, and of course it came back different. The grounding system was all screwed up, and they fixed that. Must have been made on either a Monday or a Friday, I don't know. But anyway, the ground system on it was beefed up pretty good. So I figured that was done. But anyway, I ordered some Ameritrons. Well, when I pulled these out, because they really put off a lot of heat. And I thought it was very weird to see the heat, and to feel the heat. I mean, I thought my fan was broke or something on the back, but it was still working. So I pulled them out once it cooled down, looked at them, and the grids, the plates were all deformed. Beats the hell out of me. But then I went to your site and I'm looking for new tubes. You're selling an Ameritron. I read the what do you call it? The reviews on your tubes and the 811, and they described exactly what I had. And I ordered those tubes from Ameritron, and I figured, well, I got to believe you read the reviews on them, and then the guys had a couple problems with the plates. So of course I ordered them for you from you, got them. The first thing I did is look at them. All the plates were great. Put them in, and my computer now, my linear now works like it's supposed to work. You know what I'm saying? Because I tell you, I was really fighting it. I mean, every time I turn on, it just wasn't operating. I know how to operate a linear. I had one years ago, and they don't change the operations, And this thing just gave me fits for most time. I just kind of ignored it. Figured maybe it was something else, or maybe it was me, But it ended up, man, I love my machine. I love the tubes with me. I don't know if you're doing any QA on those tubes that comes into your office that you sell, or do you plan to do any produce any 811As with your label?
Well, right now it's not on the roadmap, Wes, for us to manufacture 811As, but we do not test the tubes that come in, but we do visually inspect them. So, I'm glad that you finally have got a set of tubes that's working good for you, and hopefully that'll continue.
Yeah, me too. Thank you, Tim. Appreciate it.
Okay, Wes. Thanks for being a customer.
Hey, no problem. I've been there a few times.
Yeah, thanks, Wes. Tim, you want to speak? We have a few more minutes. You want to speak about your YouTube series and talk about that, and then I have a positive comment about something I watched about the satellite from KX9X. Go ahead.
Okay, great. Yes, I'm on YouTube and Facebook Live 3 times a week, Tuesday afternoons at 1:15 p.m. Eastern Time. That's Tuesdays with Tim and Jeff. And then on Thursday is a really good show. It's at 2:30 Eastern Time. This is the Manufacturer Showcase, where I bring on a manufacturer and we allow you to ask questions and get updated information from them. And then on Fridays is the weekend special. That's at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. And that is all over the map. You never know what I'm going to do. I might show you an antenna project that I'm working on. Yesterday, I interviewed Ward Silver N0AX. And it's always a good 20 minutes of something interesting in the amateur radio community. All of these things are archived on YouTube, so you can find all the past shows for Tuesdays with Tim and Jeff, the Manufacturer Showcase, and the Weekend Special are all archived on the DXengineering YouTube channel. And you can spend hours watching these things, and they're all very informative and a lot of fun. And to those of you here at the meeting today that are DXengineering customers, I thank you for your business. I hope we're taking care of you well. If not, you email me directly. And my email address is very pronounced on my QRZ site. You email me at k3lr@k3lr.com. And unless I'm dead or on an airplane, I will return your email within 24 hours. And for those of you who are not DXengineering customers, give us a try. especially we're very local to you now in Sparks, but give us a try. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised at the professional service you're going to get from us and the follow-up, and we'll answer your questions. And our main objective is to have you have more fun with the greatest hobby in the world. Back to you, Barry.
Yeah, boy, isn't it the greatest hobby in the world? And particularly during the pandemic, we have got to do more ham radio. Couple of comments. First of all, it is unique for us as a club in the greater Reno Basin to have a vendor here, you know, a reseller. And because it's tied into summer racing, when you said 9 o'clock to 7 days a week, I said, oh my gosh, that's unbelievable. So that is unique. I just want to go back for one thing to the YouTube. So I did spend a lot of hours. I was interested in satellite. I got talking to some friends, and one guy talked to another guy, talking to another guy, and I go, gosh, how can I be a ham 48 years and not really know anything about it? So I found the series that Sean KX9X put together for you. I know he was the ARRL contest manager, and I watched all of them. And I understand now what I didn't understand before. So the education component of this is just great. Thank you so much, Tim, for coming out today on your Saturday. I know you could be off contesting, and instead you're here today. Any last closing words you'd like to say?
Yep, Barry is talking about the blog that we have at DXengineering. That's onallbands.com, onallbands.com. And there's a blog for Summit that is onallcylinders.com.
Oh.
So you might, you know, if you're a car guy, onallcylinders.com. And then KX9X is one of our bloggers, and he does just fantastic videos. And
oh my God,
they're
yes.
really well done, professional done. And Sean is a wizard with satellites. And he's been a friend of mine for many, many years. And I'm so thrilled to have Sean and other bloggers, even like Ward, N0AX, Anthony, KZT. We've got some tremendous knowledge that is on allbands.com. So go there. The events calendar will tell you what I'm doing on social media. And also there's blogs that we put up something new every day. So it doesn't get old. It's got a lot of information, again, to help you have more fun.
Great. Thank you so much. Well, with 4950 people here today, which is about a little 15% of about 15% of our full membership, you know, it shows just how great it is for ham radio. Thank you, Tim. If you're interested, stick around. If you have to go, thank you very much. We're going to end this recording of the presentation portion for the SNARS membership meeting with K3LR of DXengineering on June 5th, 2021.